I'm here to talk to y'all about inflation. You know, that shit that everybody's scared of, and everybody acts like it's a big boogie monster in the world, and you know, you're gonna go broke because of inflation, etc., etc., etc. Inflation is nothing new. The cost of living goes up. But once I get on this road and get comfortable, I'm gonna try to dive in to touch on some points that other people do not touch on. See, it's good to know that the platform of shit, you know, the basis of everything that people touch on, whether it's inflation or anything in life, you know, the basis, the stuff you hear over and over, that everybody say over and over, that's good. But there's always levels, loopholes, and stuff like that. The rabbit hole is always deep, and it's deeper than the surface. On everything in life, the rabbit hole is always deeper. I honestly, in life, I don't think there's no such thing as the end of a rabbit hole. You can always improve in life. You can always learn. Like, there's no ending, right? You can always self-improve. You can always learn. You can always get more of this. You can always do more of that, etc. There's really no ending to anything. Really think about it. Hold on, let me get on the road a little bit. Once I get on this road solid where I can just coast, you know what I mean, and not worry about cars too much. Because I gotta watch the cars, gotta be safe, safety first. Safety first. Safest way though to be on this road is to stay away from everybody. Like right now, nobody's on the side of me, this side, and the truck ahead of me is way ahead of me, so that gives me room to stop. And whoever's behind me, hey, they can do whatever. They want to run into me, that's their problem. All I worry about is these three things, what I see over this way. You know what I mean? But let's talk about inflation, man. See, a lot of people will say, if you leave your money, you hear it a lot too, they talk about this cyber pay or whatever. What they'll say is this: if you leave your money in a bank, it loses interest every year, something like that, a percent or something like that. Basically, what it boils down to is like you might lose $100, something like that, depending on how much money you got in the bank, right? But think about it this way: what people are telling y'all to do is, since you'll lose that $100 in the bank, you know, that inflation, go out and just invest your money in the shit you don't know about. Think about that though before you do this, people. Would you rather lose $100 to keep your money safe in the bank until you figure? Of course, you want to put your money in other places than the bank. That's not a knock. I'm not knocking that part. But would you rather? Pay attention. Would you rather lose that little $100, right? I mean, you're gonna lose that in taxes. If we gonna cry over $100, even if you had $100,000, what will it be like inflation? If it was 1%, maybe what, 1,000 maybe? That's kind of tough. I give you that. But to keep your money safe, I don't know. Maybe it's worth it, right? Maybe. But let me get back to what I was saying. Hold on. Do I think that your money should be invested in great shit other than the bank? Yes. But at the same time, no. Because it depends. If you are investing in something that takes years and years, your money's tied up in that, right? And there's always tricks and fees and all this other bullshit. It's always a trick. Ain't nothing free in life, remember that. So these people are not giving you free money. You might think that. Your 401k, it might appear like you're getting free money, but are you really? Because this is what y'all forgot about inflation. Since everybody want to be the inflation police, right? Everybody want to be the inflation police. Well, remember this. Whether you put your money in bonds or whatever and they gain this much percentage, blah, 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 right? By the time you end up taking that money out, guess what? Inflation. Remember that? Remember that inflation that y'all be talking about? Well, now your money ain't even worth what you thought it was going to be either. That's why the best thing for you to do is, instead of trying to just focus, I'm not knocking bonds and things like that. You should do that, but you shouldn't tie all your money in that. You know what I mean? Like, I got a 401k, but I don't pay the maximum because I don't want my money tied up into that. I'd rather have the option to put my money in other places too. Plus, if for any reason they try to pull that bullshit like, oh, this fee and that fee, I didn't really put the maximum in there. I just put in like the minimum. So, you know, whatever happens, happens. You know, they gotta give me something, right? Just like taxes and shit, you're gonna get something back. But my thing is, everybody talk about inflation. Okay, prices of this or that goes up, prices of milk go up, prices of everything go up. It's been going up. But at the same time, how is it that I still find sales for everything? I still find sales for milk or whatever. I'm just naming milk to be one thing. No matter how much the inflation go up, if you was born from the gutter, right? You're always going to have that in you to do without or do with less. Or do not do, either you'll have it in you to do without, or you'll have it in you to always look for the best bargain, the best deals. So it doesn't matter about inflation. It doesn't matter if milk is $3. I guarantee you somewhere I'll be able to get milk for $1. Guarantee it. Or $2. It's all about you and you managing money. It's not the inflation. It's always going to depend on you, not the inflation. When it comes to buying Ohio State tickets and all that, everybody, oh man, they 200, they 300. Yeah, but y'all didn't look around enough. You didn't want to put energy into looking. How come I find mine for 89 and decent seats at that? The same seats that you paying 200 for, because I seen them, same ones you paying 200 for, I pay 89. I just kept looking. I didn't give up. Same thing when I take my vacation trips. It takes a long time sometimes to find the right deals, but I be patient. You know what I mean? And eventually, bam, it happens every time. Same thing with buying a new car. Everybody rushing to buy new cars. You know what I mean? If you ain't got no choice, I get it. But if you got a choice, why rush? I guarantee you, the same CT6 that I didn't see when it was brand new for $80,000, I guarantee y'all, this is a guarantee because I have faith in God. I guarantee y'all I will get a CT6 that look damn near brand new for half that price. Guarantee it. It's just a matter of when. Last time I checked, Jordan's been $200 forever. Inflation didn't change that shit much. Inflation doesn't affect everything. It can't. Because some stuff been the same price forever. So it's all about what I used to say all the time with people, to people all the time. Learning how to manage your money is a hustle. See, everybody thinks it's just a hustle to get the money. And that's just one step, dog. You got another step. And that step is managing the money that you hustled to get. If you don't do step two, it don't matter how much. It don't matter if you hustle $1 billion. If you don't do good with step two, managing your money, you gonna be broke. Step one don't even matter without step two. There's levels to this shit, dog. You ain't done yet. The game ain't over. And then you can know how to manage your money, right? But you gotta manage it in the right shit still. Just because you know how to manage money don't mean you won't make the right decision. Which brings me back to that bank shit. How everybody swears that by default you should never have money in the bank because you should invest it here or there. What if, okay, so I lose let's just hypothetically say I lost $1,000 because of inflation for a whole year, but my money was safe and it's still there. And you said, nah, man, fuck that. I'm not paying $1,000. I'm going to go ahead and invest my money here, here, and here. And then what you invest in flops, and you lose money. You lose way more than $1,000. Which one was better? I still got my, I'm gonna break it down to smaller terms. I still got my 10,000. We both had 10,000. I got 9,000 now, but you got like 3,000 because you thought that by default, by investing money, it was by default better option than keeping your money in a bank until you learn how to invest, until you learn where to put your money at. You got me fucked all the way up. It's not better. If I don't know where to invest my money yet, how is it better to put it in stuff that I don't know about versus keeping it in a bank and maybe losing $100 a year? Maybe, you know, at the most 1,000 if you got like 100,000 or more. At the most. But you, the guy or girl that say, nah, man, fuck that bank. I'm gonna invest my shit. You could lose all your money. Again, until you really know where to invest your money, yes, the bank is the best place. You can say stock market, this and all this, and bonds and all that, and that's cool. I'm not knocking that. But there's risk at that. There's really no risk in the bank. And when it comes to the inflation shit, you know, the price is going down. There's always a way around it. You got to learn how to shop. You got to learn how to manage your money. You control the inflation. The inflation don't control you. You can't control rent, but then again, maybe you can. Maybe you can start shopping around for a better place to live. Everybody's rent's not the same price. Somebody said in New Carlisle they paying $400, $400 some dollars. And I get it. My rent keeps going up over and over again. So it's at the point that it might be best to just buy a house, maybe. But then again, I see people who have bought houses and owed a whole lot of money on it, and it didn't work out for them. So I'm thinking if I ever buy a house, I would want to buy a house that pays for a house, not buy a house to live in. If I can't buy a house that's actually going to pay me, then what's the point? It's a liability. If I'm paying the house and it's not paying me, it's a liability. You can slice it any way you want to. You can say, well, I put this money here, and it made my house worth more money. You can say that, but that money still counts against you. So in other words, if I put $2,000 into a house, right, and it raises my house a little bit, now it's $22,000 more, or let's just say $3,000 more. It still costs $2,000 though, and there's no guarantee that it would be worth more when I actually sell it. There's no guarantee, and there's fees in that too. You might actually come out with less. There's always fees and shit. These people know what they're doing, man. What they do is tell us this is the way you get rich. Anytime a motherfucker is telling you this is the way you get rich and they not benefiting from it, be very wary. Only way I say that what they saying is solid information is if they get benefit from it too. All these channels about I want you to be like me and make a bunch of money. If they not getting money off of you making the money, then they liars. Why would I be like, yeah, I want y'all to I got this program, I'm gonna do it for free, and it doesn't benefit me at all, but I'm just gonna teach people. Man, stop that shit, y'all. Inflation, man, it's nothing really to worry about, you know what I mean? Plus, don't the pay go up when the inflation goes up? When I started working at Myers, and where else did I go? Frisch's Big Boy. It was $5.15. I'm pretty damn sure if you work at Myers or Frisch's right now, it's not $5.15. So is inflation really inflation? See, what people are doing is, see the 100,000 in the bank, it's going to be worth only 90,000 or whatever they say, right? But they don't realize you're going to be making more money too. What I used to make at this job 14 years ago ain't what it pays now. So it all evens out. So you cannot convince me that until I know where to put money at or invest money, you can't convince me that the bank's worse than the stock market or something, that it can actually take all my money. How is it worse? If I don't know what I'm doing, how is it worse? I'm not talking about people who are experts and pretty much can't lose, you know what I mean? It's still a risk, but they really can't lose because they know what they're doing. That's different. But a lot of us don't know what we're doing. We just hearing somebody say, oh yeah, put it in a stock market or put it in a 401k, and oh yeah, that sounds like some cool ass shit. Yeah, I'm gonna do that too. You better not do that yet. That's like getting married and you don't even know about marriage yet. You better learn that shit, learn about that shit first. You better learn about what it takes to be a father first before you think about it. These are facts, people. Nothing to be scared of when it comes to this inflation, because if you come from nothing, man, you're gonna be all right, man, because you know you've been raised off of looking for deals and all that shit, man. Why do y'all think I shop at Myers, Walmart, and Kroger's? There's a reason. I know what's cheapest at this one, and I know what's cheapest at that one and that one. Now, am I saying that, let's just say, and I get organic shit too. So I don't want people to take it wrong, like, well, you gotta live and don't be cheap and all that. It's not about being cheap. For instance, if I know that I don't like this cheap cereal at Myers or whatever, and I like the name brand, I'm going to buy the name brand. I'm going to spend that extra money. But if I actually like the cheap brand, the same as the other brand, or better sometimes, why the fuck would I do that? We're not talking about meat, of course. You don't want to play with that shit. But let's just say pickles. There's a good one. Let's just say pickles. They the same. There's no way I'm buying that high-ass price of pickles when this is the same. It doesn't make any sense. But if I liked the high-ass price of pickles better than the cheap, and they was actually different, then of course I would. But all I'm trying to say is, there is ways around everything, man. It's how you manage shit. It's not the inflation. People are the inflation. They the ones inflating they shit. You the ones inflating your pockets, not the inflation. Because they have to pay you more because of the inflation. If they didn't, then they would still be paying $5.15 at Frisch's Big Boy and Myers right now. If inflation didn't make employees pay you more money, they would still be paying $5.15 at Myers and Frisch's right now, like they was back when I started. Don't be deceived, man, by people, man. Am I saying that when people say, hey, don't keep your money in the bank, put it in this and this and this, am I saying that they're wrong? No, I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is, if you don't feel comfortable yet and you want to learn more about it, don't just automatically, oh, let me take my money out and throw it there and there, and you don't know nothing about it, you end up losing all your money. At least in the bank, you still got it, right? Up to like $250,000, right? But I get it. I know what they're saying. They are saying this. If you have 100,000, I don't like this. Let me break it down smaller. If you had 10,000 in the bank, they are saying in 20 years from now, that 10,000 is only going to be worth 5,000, right? That's what they're saying, right? But even if you put your shit in a 401k, right? Don't the cost of living and everything, it's the same thing. You might have it a little bit different, but your money's tied up. My money in the bank is not. I can grab it out anytime and invest it. Who knows when the ideal investment or the ideal or the opportunity of an investment will pop up? How do you know? Somebody tomorrow can say, hey, Twan, that IHOP that you've been thinking about buying one day in Huber Heights, we selling that for 100,000. If I got all my 100,000 locked up in certain things that I can't get it out of, I can't do it. But if it's in the bank, bam, give it to me. If I bought a house and my money's tied up in that, I can't do it. Got to sell the house first. You got a car, you're going to have to pay that car off first. It's all about having financial freedom. That's why the bank is sometimes, in some ways, better. But I understand the other way too. But there's levels to this, man. You can't do it just one way. It's the same thing with the credit and cash argument. You can't do it one way. They both have their purpose. Why pay credit if you got cash? Why would you pay more for something? It doesn't make sense to me, man. Unless you don't want that money tied up and you know for a fact the money that you don't want tied up, you're putting it in something else to make more money. That might make sense. But if not, then it don't make no sense at all. What the hell are you doing? Why are you paying $5,000 more for a car if you got the money to pay for it right now? It makes no sense. I don't care what anybody say. You don't want your money tied up. Okay, well, you're still paying $5,000 more at the end. You might actually pay more when it comes to a house, because when you buy in your house, things happen to it, and you're responsible for that, not your landlord. Like, there's levels to this, really, man. That's why everybody, swear up and down renting is the worst thing on earth. How do you really know that? Because the expense you might have for your house might be what I pay for rent the whole entire year. Your furnace could go out. That could be like $20,000. A lot of people renting ain't paying $20,000 a year, but I get the concept of why you would rather own than rent. But to me, only if that house you own is paying you. If not, you might as well find something cheap to rent that you like, that's in your liking, that doesn't make you feel like you're settling, right? And try to get ahead in life, and then figure out what you're gonna do. But people don't do that. They follow what everybody else is telling them. And if everything everybody's telling you is so golden and it works, then everybody should be. Why everybody struggling almost? Think about it. If what we've been told and are being told is the absolute best way, then why are so many people struggling? There's got to be some type of trick to this shit, man. There's got to be some kind of catch to it that we're not getting. And that's why you got to study it. It's not that you can't succeed when you put your money in stocks or when you buy a house and all these other things that financial advisors are giving y'all. But there's a cause and effect. There's a pros and cons. If it was that easy, everybody would just do it and everybody be set, right? It ain't that easy. You gotta know what you're doing, man, and that's facts. And I don't exactly know what I'm doing when it comes to investing. You know what I mean? So until I do, I won't invest. I'd rather learn. I'm starting to learn, though. I'm starting to understand. Oh, and another thing about this bank versus investing shit, right? Let's just say you put your money in some type of bond or 401k, right? And I didn't put my money in anywhere but the bank. But I'm constantly profiting from work, you know what I mean? Profiting, because I manage my money right. I don't call off work, etc. And shit, I got another 100,000. You are waiting. Look, check this out. This is the golden nugget of the whole video. You are waiting 30 years, 20 years, I even give you 10 years. You're waiting 10 years for 100,000, and I didn't already say that in 2 years. And my money's free because it's not tied up in some bond that I might not ever see. Or if you have kids and you gone, God forbid, they might have to fight to get it. Actually argue and fight about what's theirs. Y'all should know better than trust people, man. Y'all know that there's a trick to this 401k shit and all this other shit. You know there is. Because everybody out for money. Everybody greedy. We know this. Am I against 401k? No. I got one. I just don't put the maximum in it. I don't think I need to. I don't know what's going to happen by the time God forbid, I'm about to live to be 150 shit. I'm being honest. I want to live forever. You know what I'm saying? But how do I know what's really going to be, what it's going to be by the time, I get to that? How do you really know? You don't really know, bro. Social Security and all that shit, you don't know, man. Why not live now? Why are we worried about living then? When you're 65, then you can get this. You trying to tell me when I'm 65, get my money back that you're going to probably tax, and inflation that y'all like to talk about is going to make it even worse, worth less? Then what? Now I'd rather just keep that money free and try to find a way to bubble that money and double and triple that money. That's what I'd rather do. That's what I'd rather do. And then, of course, yeah, I can have some 401ks and shit on the side, but that's not the only thing you want, dog. You don't want to put all your money into that. And I get it, as far as the bank is sitting there and it's not doing nothing. I get that part. Nobody's here to knock that. But it's still better to have $10,000 in the bank sitting there safe versus you taking that $10,000 and trying to be Mr. Invest business guy and you don't know what you're doing. Because you thought it was some cool shit to do. You know what I mean? It sound cool. So let me do it. And then you fuck around and not have that 10,000. Yeah, nah, you better learn. You better learn some shit first. So somebody took out 10, here's a good way to explain it. I got 10,000, he's got 10,000. Hold on. I got 10,000, he got 10,000. I leave mine in because I'm not sure about what to invest in. And he thinks he got it all figured out. He takes his out, right? And let's say he does profit a little bit, you know what I mean? Let's say in a year's time, he profit about 3,000 or some shit like that, you know what I mean? Who knows? Out of all that blood, sweat, tears, whatever, let's just say I just kept working and left my 10,000 in, right? And then I just kept working and I then profited like 30 or 40. Now I still got that 10 and that 30. And he gained like 3,000. Or even worse, he might even actually lose money because it takes money to make money. And he didn't really look into what he is investing to. He just heard that instead of leaving money in the bank, go invest in shit. You know what I mean? So he took that risk, right? Which nothing is wrong with. Not knocking it. Not knocking it. But I'm just saying that don't just assume that by default that having money in the bank is worse than going out and investing in something. Because you got to figure out what to invest in. That's what I'm saying, man. And there's no guarantee what you invest in is going to profit more than me working. Some people quit their job. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, let's throw that in. We had the 10,000. He quit his job. I kept working. There you go. That's perfect. All right, we both have 10,000. I keep my money in the bank. He decided to quit his job and invest his 10,000. He profited 3,000. We give him that. We'll give him 5 just so it's easier for y'all to calculate. So now he got 15,000, right? Which, okay, cool, right? But he got to work 24/7, like 24/7. Like businesses is like really 24/7, right? And he got a lot of responsibility. He got to make sure people come to work and pay taxes and all this shit, right? And I just kept working my job and I didn't profit like 30,000. Yeah, he worked on his own and all that, but he profited 3,000 in that year and I profited 30. But they want y'all to believe by default, you know, being a boss is better, or by default, not having your money in the bank is better, or by default, having a home is better than renting. That's not always true. It could be, but it's not always true. And what it does is make people by default believe that it's a guarantee, and that's why you see a lot of people struggling. Because if it was always true what they say about rent versus home, boss versus worker, and leaving money in the bank versus putting it in stock markets and shit, if that was always true, then you wouldn't see so many people struggling that you do. Because everybody want to follow this. Everybody listen to this, don't they? They want to follow it. So why ain't everybody not struggling? Why is so many people struggling? Just asking a question. Either way it goes, if I don't move a fucking muscle, just by keeping a job alone, I still profit something every week. It don't matter if I put it in the stock market or not. I could put that money in the stock market, and yeah, you might be profiting the same as me or more, but yours can change just like that. As long as I keep going to work, you know what I mean? Or you know, you work, career, whatever. You know what I mean? As long as everything's good there, you're profiting. And I'm not knocking what the idea of it. I'm knocking the fact that people are not trying to learn before they do it. That's what I'm knocking. Nobody's telling y'all not to do it. Nobody's saying that it's better to rent versus buy, or it's better to be a worker versus boss, Or it's better to keep your money in the bank versus putting it in these things. Nobody's saying that. What I'm saying is, before you do these things, you might want to think about it. Another example, he buys a home, I continue to rent. His furnace goes out. Or something crazy happens. He got paid $20,000. Now he's struggling check to check. Not only does he got paid $20,000 for that furnace, he also got to pay his mortgage. You know what I'm saying? And anything else to go wrong with the house. Me, on the other hand, I'm just paying, let's just say the rent $700 or something. $700. Hold on. Y'all got me doing all kind of shit right now. 700 times 52. 36. No, that's not right. I did that wrong. I was about to say, whoa, that's a lot. 700. By the way, nobody's beside me, in front of me, or anything, y'all, so cut it out. 750 times 12. 712. 8,400. Already, his furnace costs more than it costs a rent. Someone please explain to me. Now, let's keep it real. I know most renting ain't 700, but a lot of it is. You find a pretty decent place. You gotta shop around. That's why I tell y'all about this inflation shit. You are in control of it more than what you think. Inflation been around. You've been doing pretty damn good. You've been all right so far. Since you've been born, inflation been around. Haven't you found a way to learn how to find deals and shit? Or did inflation just cripple your ass and you can't take it no more? Right? Anyways, back to what I was saying. 700 times 52. That's a pretty solid rent payment, 700. You know what I mean? That's 84, right? Most people, mortgages, yeah, it might be a little bit cheaper. I get that part. But if that furnace go out, at least, we'll lowball it. 10,000 for the furnace. By default, right there, they're already paying more. I don't know, maybe they have tax write-offs, or maybe they can write it off and make their house worth more or something like that, I'm sure. But still, you still got to sell the house. You know what I mean? To me, I feel like if I'm going to buy a house, I feel like the first thing I want to do before I buy my own house is buy a house that makes me money. Then use that to help me pay for my house, or use that and buy another house that makes more money. Because until you are making money off of a house, it's a liability. And I get it. Paying rent, you're wasting money. But go back to what I was saying. Let's go back to what I was saying. He's buying a house, right? He's not wasting so-called money, right? But somehow, some way I'm getting, I didn't say, let's just hypothetically say, not me, but just in general. Let's just say I'm buying a house and he's buying, whoever, she, they are renting. She done saved $100,000 in the last 5 to 10 years. I'm still down there struggling, living check to check. Now she can take that $100,000 and do whatever, who knows? But yet I'm still stuck paying on this house. But they want y'all to believe by default that buying a house is better than rent. That's not always true. I get the concept of it. It is true, but it's not true. There's levels. There's levels, dog. Just like there's levels to keeping my money safe, keeping your money safe in the bank until you figure out what to really do with it. Or, you know, just trying to be a fool and just take it out, blindly investing in shit and don't even know nothing about it and possibly losing your money. Let's not forget that you gotta pay taxes on those stocks and bonds that y'all talking about. You know that money in the bank, that $12,000 in the bank, the taxes already paid on that. That $12,000 that you got in those stocks and bonds, that tax ain't paid on that yet. Uh-oh. Y'all ain't think about that one, did you? Yeah, you got that little interest and shit, but you gotta pay taxes too. The money that's in the bank is already taxed. You already paid tax on that. That's yours. And let me tell y'all one more thing. Some people, they say, you know, the inflation 0.something%, and if you add it up, it'd be like $100 or something like that, a couple $100 a year. Do you know if I use my credit card, and the way I use it is I pay everything with the credit card, but it automatically gets paid off at the end of the month, right? So there's no interest. And guess what else, y'all? After about 3 months of using that, I have like $200 free just from using a credit card. So it doesn't matter about that inflation, does it? Because that credit card was free money. All I did was swipe a credit card and I just did it the other day. It was like $240 after using the credit card for like 3 months. It was about $240 free and no interest on the credit card I was using. So even if there was inflation, that covers that right there. And the money's still safe and sound. They give us the concept of it, but they're really not telling us everything about it. They're not digging deep enough to tell us about it, man. That's the problem, man. We're gonna have to figure it out on our own because people are only telling you the basis of the shit. They're not digging deep enough, man. That's why you think by default that buying a house is better than renting. It depends. If I look at it, if I buy a house, all right, 10 years ago, I could buy this house and pay on this for 10 years. Ain't no telling what's gonna happen to it. Or I could just rent, you know what I mean, for 10 years, pay about $700 or something like that. We already added this up. It was like 8,000, something like that. You could times that by 7, that's 56. You still ain't bought the house yet. And I get it, that that 56 could be put into the house you could own one day. But at the same time, what if renting in 10 years got me up 300,000, got me in a position to be able to save 300,000, and you can't get in that position because you're buying a house? Which one would you rather have? A house that you're still paying on and you may have like 20,000 saved, or would you rather be the renter? And we talking like a 10-year span or something. Would you rather be the renter who saved 300,000, right? Which one? I know I'd rather be that renter. We're still talking about 10 years here. And you can say your house is worth this and all that, but until you sell it, it's not. It's just a house that you're paying on. You didn't sell it yet. Somebody got to buy it first. Just saying, y'all got to think about these things, man. I'd much rather be the renter, saving that 300,000 in that 10-year span, than to be that homeowner. Which I'm not knocking being a homeowner, but I'm just telling you, I'd rather be that renter than that homeowner who saved, maybe we'll give him, he saved 50,000, but he still owned the house and shit like that. The guy that rented, now he got 300,000, he could buy a couple houses. And then have those houses pay for a house, a better house than the one that's the homeowner who just owns his house, which is a liability. And I'm not knocking it because some people are in a position where they have kids and they had no choice. But if you have a choice, this is for people who have a choice. You know what I mean? Not the people who didn't. I get it. Nobody's judging y'all, man. Don't take this video wrong. If you got family and shit, you need a home. You're better off getting a home than renting for sure. But maybe not. Maybe you're not in some cases. Maybe renting could get you way ahead too. Depends. It just depends, man. But this financial shit, man, ain't no fucking ending to this hole. This rabbit hole is too deep. If there was an ending and it was so easy to understand and all that, then nobody would take losses. And, you know, people like Jay-Z and them, and who was it? Warren Buffett, I think. Somebody, motherfucker went broke and bounced back just like that. He bounced back because he knows what the fuck he's doing, man. But he still went broke, though. So don't think that it can't happen to somebody. It can, man. There's no guarantee. It ain't no guarantee because you didn't put your money you didn't keep your money in a bank safe. You decided to put it into something. And there's no guarantee that you're going to get that money or if it's going to work. You don't know that. At least I know if I leave my money here, I mean, what's the worst that could happen? However, man, we just got to figure out how to invest in the right shit. You know what I mean? That's all. We got to learn before we got to get our feet wet before we try to swim. You might fucking drown. For real. You know what I mean? I want to learn the stock market. I kind of understand it a lot more. I got a little bit of money in it, but I'm not about to put all my money in. I don't know it like that. Why would I do that? I'm going to put Imagine, I'm gonna take money that's safe in the bank. I'm gonna put 20,000 in this stock. I don't know that stock market like that. That 20,000 can be gone overnight, and you're gonna feel stupid. Don't think it can't happen, because it can. I talked to somebody who he earned like 70,000, but then he lost 70,000 or something like that. He earned like 50,000 or something, but then he lost 70,000. I know a lot of people in the stock market, and I seem to be still having more than them, so I don't know. You tell me. I'm just saying. It ain't always what you think. That's all I'm saying. And that 401k shit, if you look at videos on it, it exposes a lot of shit about that shit, man. Taxes, hidden fees, all this shit. And I got a 401k though, like I said earlier, and I'm not telling y'all not to get one. I just don't put my maximum in it. I don't trust it like that. Why would I? Why not try to figure out, why not just have some money in a 401k from your checks, and then take your free money and try to figure out what you could do with it? Why we always got to depend on some other motherfuckers we don't even know? I don't even know you. You got motherfuckers you don't even know dealing with your money. Same thing with the bank. Before people come in and say that, I get it. I know the bank invests your money, but it's still your money. You still have access to it. Again, if Huber Heights came and said, hey, Twan, that IHOP that you've been looking at forever, you know what I mean? We selling that for $100,000. I couldn't do that if I only got 100,000 of 401k. I guess I could, but there'd be fees and who knows, man. There's some stocks and bonds you can't get out at all. And then you gotta sell it, and when you sell it, there's taxes on it and all that shit. The 100,000 in the bank, you can just grab that shit like, all right, here you go. It's my IHOP now. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure you probably got to pay taxes though if you bought the IHOP, I'm sure. You always got to pay these motherfuckers, man. These people who rule the world, man, they so fucking greedy, man. There's no way around it. You always going to have to pay them. No way around it, man. But yeah, man, I'm done talking about it. I'm not worried about inflation because, like I said, man, inflation been around forever, and I've always been able to find, you know, the best prices on shit. I ain't never had a problem. Last time I checked, parsley still 70-something cents. Sometimes 50 cents. Again, there's a reason why I go to Myers, Kroger's, and Walmart, because I know what I know the best prices for the shit that I get. I get the same shit, but I know who has the best prices for the shit. And before people say that's cheap, or before people say any of that type of bullshit along those lines, no, it's not. I still get the organic shit. I still get the shit I want. I don't settle. I work hard so I don't have to settle in life. However, I'm not no dummy. I'm gonna buy the right shit. You know, like Windex. Does it really have to be the fucking name brand? I doubt it. But when it comes to spark plugs or oil for your car, yeah, why not get the best? That matters. I'm just giving y'all examples. Like some shit just doesn't matter if it's not the name brand, the most expensive shit. But then some shit, yeah, you want the best. Like you want the good oil. You don't want no cheap oil in your shit. But Windex? Come on, man. You really paying $5 for the Windex? That's your fault. You the inflation. You can't tell me I can't go to the Dollar Tree and find a dollar bottle of Windex or that windshield shit. That's bullshit, man. Silverware. You want to buy that fancy ass silverware? Fine, go ahead. I'm going to the dollar store to get my silverware. It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter to me. Maybe if I had a girlfriend or something and she wanted, fuck it, go ahead. You know what I mean? But if she don't care, I don't care. It's a fucking silverware. That don't mean I'm going to buy some cheap silverware I don't like, nah. But I'm going to buy the cheapest silverware I like, if that makes sense. Instead of going to buy most expensive shit that for no reason. It's fucking silverware. Does it really matter? Not really, man. But yeah, man, money management is important. You know what I mean? But like I said earlier, a lot of people just focus on making the money, you know, in the stock market or this or that. How am I going to make the money? But then they don't have step 2 down. They focus so much on making the money, they forgot that once you make the money, you still got to know how to manage it. Meaning you got to, like I say, finding the best deals on shit is a hustle. It's a hustle, like. But money management ain't just fucking finding the best deal. It's a lot of shit. Why you think some athletes have agents and shit like that? Because they have so much money coming in and whatever. They need somebody to monitor that shit. But if they were smart, like Master P said, he's his own agent. Why I want to pay you to manage my money when I could just be fucking find time out of my day to do it myself? Without step 2, money management, how much money you make is irrelevant. You made $1 billion, but you had no money management, you went broke. It's irrelevant. Guess that $1 billion didn't mean shit, did it? Here's another good one. You know, since we talk about inflation, motherfuckers will go buy an outfit just for one night. And I'm not talking about a special occasions like weddings or something, you going to somebody's wedding or something like that, something special, you know what I mean? So you wear this one thing. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about literally all the time. I'm gonna buy an outfit for the club every night. That's foolish. You just wasting money. Or people just buying clothes they don't even really like just to buy it. You are the inflation, man. I showed y'all a picture of them damn Jordans I had. I had them for 10 years and I still like them the same way I liked them the day I bought them. Because if I didn't like them that much, I would have never bought them. If I see something like, I like it, but not really, I'm not buying it. It's got to be something that I really like. What's the point of buying it? I already got a bunch of clothes. Why would I buy something that I really don't like? I'm never going to wear it. But if it's something I really like, then I'm going to like it forever, and I'm going to wear it. And I'm going to take care of it and shit like that. But yeah, money management, man. Another thing about the outfit shit I was talking about, the bottles. I explained this before, and I'm going to explain it again. When I used to drink, why the fuck would I pay $300 for a bottle? Why? So I can look like I'm rich? I don't give a fuck what I look like. I got a bottle sitting right in that car. I'm coming into the club fucked up. I'm coming to the club fucked up off my $40 bottle or less. And I don't care what women cheap this, cheap that. I get it. I get to a certain extent. Like you kicking it with people and you're at the bar. I get that, man. But really a $300 bottle, bro. The shots are already $8. You know what I'm saying? But I guess that's probably why people buy a bottle, because by the time you 8 times motherfucking, you know what I mean? Like 8 times 15 shots and shit, you damn near at 300. Just doesn't make sense to me. Why not come to the club already kind of fucked up though? And then, you know what I mean? Them shots that you taking, it's gonna be they're gonna last a lot longer, or unless you get what I'm saying. It's just better that way, man. But you can't tell people that, because everybody trying to look rich, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is, man. I'm off here, y'all. Inflation is more in your control than the thought of, you know, oh shit, everything's gonna be worth less and this and that. Again, when I first started Frisch's and Myers, it was like $5.15. That's what I made. I guarantee you right now, anybody working at Frisch's or Myers don't make no $5.15. So inflation doesn't really exist, because if pay goes up, just like here, pay went way up. This job paid way more. I be looking at the new starters like, man, y'all have no idea how much we used to get paid to do this shit. Just like football players and shit. Old school football players. You know, Dick Buckus and Jim Brown and them, they looking at Tom Brady and them like, what? These motherfuckers getting paid $20 million and shit. We got paid $20,000. Yeah, the inflation went up, but so does everybody's pay. So does inflation really exist? If you think about it, does it really? I guess yes and no. Because if everybody's getting paid more money, then it doesn't matter about the cost of living. If I'm getting paid more, but the milk is $2 more or something, but I'm getting paid more, it's the same thing. It's no different than if you live in California or something and they pay more for truck drivers or whatever versus here or whatever. It still evens out. And it's always going to always depend on your money management. Man, I thought flies was done. What the fuck? It's always going to depend on your money management more than anything. A lot of people are just foolish with their money, man. It ain't about the inflation. They just foolish with their money. Online and shit, like vacations. I know this for a fact because when I take vacations, I leave tabs open. Same trip, same room, same hotel and all that. Expedia, all them travel sites, they all got different prices. You got to shop around. That's what you have to do. That's a hustle. You could call it cheap. Be dumb and call it cheap. I call it saving your money. Why would you blow your money? You're already going to be blowing money on a vacation anyway. But why would you pay more money when you could stop being lazy and just shop around on the internet and find the best deals? Right? And when I say the best deal, I mean the same thing. In other words, say I want to go to Vegas and I want to stay at the TI, right? Same place, right? But they all have different prices on different sites. Why the fuck would I not search and find, since I understand this, why would I not search for the best price? Why? Some people call that cheap, like dummies, and they the same people that will struggle. So you mean to tell me you would rather, your pride would rather pay more for the same fucking room? That makes no sense. They're already busting your head already. You got hotels $300 a night, more than that. They already busting your head. So why the fuck would you not search for the best deal? It's not like I'm saying, it's not like me telling, like, if I got a girlfriend, nah, we staying in this cheap ass hotel versus this nice, decent hotel. That's not. We talking about the same hotel, but the prices of the websites are different. The hotel's the same. Or some people on airlines. I don't know what the difference is between flying on airlines, but I don't give a fuck. I always pick the best deal, the best airline deal. Now I don't pick those weird, cheap ass, like weird looking routes that I don't know nothing about. But like from Delta to American Airlines and all that, why would I not pick the cheapest one? I don't understand. Unless there's something y'all know that I don't know, I don't get it. Speaking of airlines, I own a little bit of that, but it never really goes nowhere. It stays the same. Like, just, that's what a lot of stocks are. They just stay the same, and sometimes you risk losing. So it's kind of still like a bank account, except for you could actually risk losing. So that's all I gotta say, man. I'm done talking. Y'all have a good day. I'm glad that I'm finally done. Well, kind of, but I'm starting to get dry mouth talking and shit. So I'm off here, y'all.